Yep.
Bring in the dancing lobsters.
Plot dismissed! Bring in the dancing lobsters!
On screen now, maybe.
Oh, that's right. In this level, there are wizards who make monsters.
Because this was used...
If you kill the wizard before they make the monster, you can still get the gems.
First, before you go back to your Legacy of Goku tangent, because this was the music used as the Amanda Show credits theme, can Viacom claim this?
I don't think.
I am
because
actually asking that as a legitimate question.
I don't think because the guy who composed the music owns it.
Hot damn!
Anyway, so in a confident game, you would build a game where your combat system wouldn't be
Jarvis.
Iron Man's computer? Actually, in the original comics, Jarvis was a butler. The Marvel movies are what made him the computer for the suit, but anyway.
I just have to ramble about this because this is some of the most half-baked game design. So, first decided, you know what? Our combat system is god-awful. How do we fix it? Whenever you punch things, in between your punches, you have a couple of frames where your hitbox is off. That is how...
we really should do a Let's Play of that at some point.
That is how you're supposed to play that game.
If we do a Let's Play of that, because that game is Game Pass, garbage, try to play the game normally, and if we can't get it past it normally, just use the invincibility code.
The way the combat system, they made their jankiness a feature. That if you punch an enemy...
That's pretty advanced right there.
You punch an enemy and it just cuts off your hitbox.
This game's jink as hell. This game is jink as hell.
I guess they learned from Sega.
Hey now. That's low even for you.
And that's why I grabbed it. The low-hanging ones are easy to get.
So...
Oh, I'm gonna show something that is not, I don't think is explained in the game, but might be. So once, and I think actually a dragon says it, but I don't think that dragon down there tells you. It's a dragon in a level, an infamous level, called Treetops, that tells you that multiple super charges can build up.
As you notice, was the Mario Kart drifting sparks behind him.
So...
This...
Yeah.
So to compensate for this stupid jerk, I don't think he moves.
But then why would it be there? I don't...
So that you're like, where's that laughing coming from?
You could only
you can only reach that platform by chaining super boosts.
But how far, does the laughing reach then, if that's...
When you land! So you'll hear him and go look around the platform.
Maybe they expected people to just kind of run around the platform at full speed and fall off because of that.
Anyway. So they cut off... I watched the tool-assisted speedrun, and it had a frame counter to explain basically when his hitbox was off. Because that's how you design a game.
Well, and also that leads to... This part is kind of just a joke people have made on the internet, but I could believe this. As I said, Legacy of Goku, it has an invincibility code in it. People make a joke instead of the developers fixing the game, they put this code in just as a quick fix.
That's how I beat it.
Honestly, I've seen that game. I've heard about that game. I would not be surprised with what they did.
I beat it with the invincibility.
It's not the worst Dragon Ball game, though. I can tell you that.
That's Sagas.
I'm about to say, have you heard of Sagas?
Wait, which one's worse, Sagas or Connect? Because Connect technically does function.
I mean, if we're asking Pro Jared, Sagas. Have you seen Sagas?
Yes.
I've seen Sagas.
That's why I said you can give Connect a lot of shit, but it at least functions.
I'm pretty sure at this point, if you like make a Kinect game, you're just. I mean, do they make Kinect games? I'm always confused. I know the Xbox One has it built in, or does it have? You have to have it.
No, you don't.
You don't anymore.
They finally
No,
released
they patched that out.
and they released a model that's connectless that like cuts $50 out of the price.
I guess you don't. I guess most games don't use it.
No. Sean, what happened? Obviously you don't remember. Hey, Lucas. Obviously you don't remember the controversy.
PK Fire!
The controversy. So Microsoft, when the Xbox One was going to be released, said it was going to have always online DRM where you had to be connected to the internet and Microsoft servers to keep your console verified, and that your Kinect would have to always be connected as well, and that if the Kinect wasn't working, the console also wouldn't work, and if it wasn't connected to that server for a certain amount of time, the console would basically brick. And people were like, the fuck? So they complained. And after complaining, Microsoft, there's a press release where, I don't know if the press release was altered, where it was a guy being like who worked at Microsoft being passive aggressive, saying like, we just wasted millions of dollars to remove the features you people were complaining about. And then when they launched the Xbox One, because they did a rush job to remove the always online DRM and the Kinect stuff, people who were buying an Xbox One would just get consoles that didn't work.
And another part, a lot of this I can't quite remember because some of this information has oddly been lost somehow. There was also the other thing of once you use a disc, that disc can't be used anymore in any other consoles. I don't remember how, but the system it would somehow hard lock disc to your console.
Well, I mean that makes sense because if you didn't do that, PS4 when you use a disc, it shows it constantly on your PlayStation, but you can't play it without the disc.
Oh, talking about PlayStation disc, this is a fun little oversight thing and kind of a warning, and it's related to Spyro, so it's topical. So, Spyro 1, 2, and 3, and I am honest to God surprised what I'm about to explain hasn't happened to your game. Spyro 1, 2, and 3 have a copyright protection, but you know where that copyright protection is located? It's an outer ring on the disc.
So if an outer ring of the disc
Gets scratched, legitimate copies are considered,
illegal.
and self-brick themselves.
They basically self-destruct.
I don't know where these gems are. This happens to me every time I play this all.
So if you buy some second-hand classic Spyro copies, and that anti-piracy, there were some gems.
Yep.
So the moral of the story is download them off the PS3. They are up on the PlayStation Store, right?
Pretty sure.
I think.
So yeah, the moral of the story is get them that way. Or you could use an emulator. I won't tell anyone.
You thief. In all seriousness, I can't simulators. You do you.
I don't know where these gems are.
Well, and also, this would be, emulating a, 20-year-old game.
It's a sheet. Oh my gosh. This happens to me every time, because there's a spot they hide these gems.
Mm-hmm. So, if you ever need me to cut, just say the word.
Oh, that requires me to find the gems!
Yeah.
Let's see, I found that spot up there.
So, we're staying on camera for a minute.
Let's see, there's that guy. So apparently there's another spot.
how do enemies respawn because of...
They don't.
They do.
So then shouldn't that
Depending
kind
on
of...
No.
if you touch a dragon, that's a checkpoint, and every enemy you've killed up to that dragon will stay dead unless you, I guess, level and come back.
So then that guy should have had a gem, right?
Yes. But
How many are you missing?
22,
Meaning it's going to be...
not just him.
But if he had one, it might be like a 10 or something.
Yes.
But... That's... Oh, there's some.
That's where.
Oh,
Every
most.
time, I always forget this spot because this leads to the dude.
Another fact about the disc thing, the original, I don't remember if oh, I was right, it was a 10. I don't remember if Crash 2 and 3 do this as well, but Crash 1 on the game, disc, there's just, like, this huge amount of data of the disc that is being taken up by blank space. The reason for this is having the game, the main, like, data of the game loaded on the outer ring of the disc, because it's the outer ring, it loads faster.
So...
I believe that's the first part of the disc to be read, so it loads faster. So they intentionally filled the disc space with nothing to make the game load faster. Also, you just called a black mage. You monster. That was probably VV.
So...
This is the
I've
point.
stopped being a jackass for a few minutes.
Yeah, I ran out of tangents. Someone say something to make me angry.
I think Fire Emblem is fair.
It is at points.
I like the guy's Boss Key's opinions.
Some of his opinions.
Oh my gosh! You're doing. I can't tell if you're doing this on purpose.
He had one or two good points.
He had several good points.
But
No!
Yes, I
was
think.
a bad
I'm not
point.
saying. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with all of his opinions, but I am saying he had some good points. Obviously, he thinks the dungeons are more challenging when they.
I just get this...
I do not get that at all. I do not think he has a problem with non-linearity inherently.
I just feel it with him.
I'm pretty sure you are prejudging him because he is pretty tame on his points.
It's the way he talks.
I disagree.
And people who watch those videos who are fans are starting to notice it too.
I don't think so.
There was a comment, and it was one of the best comments, and it had hundreds of likes, by the way, where someone was like...
Well, on YouTube, that means...
But I mean, he's not like making it out like these the dungeons that are not non-linear are garbage.
But he's making it
And
out
he's not even
lesser.
He not always, not in this not in Skyward Sword at all.
Like I said, I
He
didn't-
never downgraded the Skyward Sword ones. Now, when the game is mostly those, yes, he does seem to think of that game's dungeons as overall lesser. But I mean, he still likes the games. He still loves Wind Waker. He likes Twilight Princess. He doesn't like Skyward Sword, but he likes Skyward Sword's dungeons. So no, I do not get the thought that he's one of them. Hey, if it's linear in Zelda, it's garbage. I do not think that. I do think he preferred.
Did you watch his video on Zelda 1?
Well, you know what's funny about his Zelda 1 is the fact that he didn't play Zelda 1 until 2017.
Yes.
So that means I'm sure he probably played
And
it
that
in the past way before, but he did not.
And that makes me angry because I can't just call a general nostalgia bias on the video.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's one of them. Hey, it's not like Zelda 1, so it's bad.
I still get that from him.
No, well, he didn't play Zelda 1. And honestly, if he just prefers one, he obviously prefers the more A Link to the Past.
People watching those videos who are fans are starting to...
He obviously prefers the way A Link to the Past plays versus the other ones, which is not a big deal. He is
That
allowed to have a preference, and he does, but I don't
But
think
he doesn't make it out to be a preference.
Yes, he does.
It's
No.
not as
I disagree. I see it as a preference.
It's not as extreme as Ego Raptor's point, but it is leaning more towards the
no, I think
because
honest-
non-linear
no,
is
because-
how.
no. Because I don't know. Because honestly, to me, it's like no. I disagree. I do not think it's that way. I think it's just because he mentions that he prefers non-linear design is why you have a problem with it.
oh
Not everybody who likes non-linear design is the exact same.
I know, and it's.
And I do not think he obviously has an opinion, and he is not like pushing it off like these are bad.
I get that.
But he does get I do get the impression that, he does not like them as much.
He prefers
That's okay.
non-linear,
He can
except
prefer non-linear.
my problem, the way he talks, I just...
You don't graph something out unless you're trying to make it look like this is objectively bad.
Sure you do.
You don't use the graphs and charts and basically go, but the chart says...
Well, yeah, but he's changed his charts. I'm sorry, I disagree. I think he has an opinion. He has an opinion.
If a dungeon is non-linear, he just complains that it's non-linear, and just makes just...
And, like, a good point...
If a dungeon's linear, he can...
Yeah.
If a dungeon's...
A kind of good example as a point to this is he liked...
No, he is not complaining about every single dungeon that's not linear.
He liked the theming, the, like, puzzle theme of the dungeons in Wind Waker because they basically kind of use a standard, like,
see,
platforming
remember he said, he had a problem with this non-linearity, but, like, at the end, he mentioned how he liked the way it stepped up its puzzles each time.
But even though he said that, that still kind of bothered me because he pointed out why having what the strength of a linear dungeon is, but before that point in the video, basically spends most of the video saying why the dungeon being linear is bad.
No, he doesn't. He never says bad.
He doesn't.
You don't have to say bad to infer...
I do not think he's inferring, though.
I do.
I don't.
And
I think it's just your personal bias against the opposite.
And
Honestly,
a lot of people watching those videos are starting to notice that.
I don't notice it.
It's not just me.
It's definitely not me, because I do not think he has a bias towards one way or the other. Okay, that's the wrong way to say it. He has a bias. He prefers non-linear design. I mean, that's obvious. That's an obvious thing. So that's what he looks for first. So of course, in the Wind Waker video, that's the first thing he points out is how it breaks away from that more so than Ocarina.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave all these tangents in because these are some good tangents.
But he does
Damn
go
it,
back
me.
and talk about the strengths, and that's why I'm like, no, I do not agree with your statement. I honestly think because he used the word non-linear, you don't like his video. Or the fact that he prefers non-linear is why you are biasing against his video. Now, he obviously heavily prefers that, and that is his opinion, and it doesn't matter if he's not gonna like a dungeon as much. Well, I mean, I say that he loves Majora's Mask dungeons
Because of his stupid, retarded spatial awareness.
No, right there. Well, that's just as bad as saying, these dungeons are bad because they're linear. But you just said what he likes in a dungeon is stupid.
No.
And that's just as bad as what you're saying.
It's not what he likes. It's not what he likes is stupid. It's that what he likes is such a specific abstract concept that he has stretched to this ludicrous degree.
I do not agree. I think you are wrong. Because I do not get that.
Go to first try, Sean.
Okay, there it actually was multiple attempts.
But no, I do not agree that...
And I was mixing up because you said...
No, I know why you
Actually, I'm going to point out, In the next area,
I might have left
in the next
all
level.
of those
In the next
my-
That
level,
wasn't that long.
in the next level, you need 5,500 gems to continue. If you play every single world and get every single gem, you will have enough to skip this area.
Wow, Spyro 1 is a short-ass game. And we're
I-
going for everything.
But no,
I might have left those in so we could.
That wasn't that long, so...
but no. I mean, I don't agree with 100% of the opinions.
If I.
But I mean, I disagree that he is like out to get any game that is not non-linear design.
Cat.
He prefers it one way because he wants to have to think about the whole dungeon, so it's challenging. And you know, he appreciated Wind Waker's design, and when a game does not either do progressive puzzle or spatial awareness, you know, he has a problem with the game's major dungeons because it doesn't do either.
And there was one other problem I had. I didn't entirely understand his points of difficulty because I never really felt a Zelda dungeon was harder than another.
Well, it's just more what you have to think about.
The only times I ever felt some dungeons were like hard or so were the ones in Majora's Mask, but I'm going to say that I
But
feel
the only
those aren't
game where
really
I remember
hard.
him outright saying that he just didn't like. Well, no, you know what? There's not one game where he didn't have any dungeons he did not like for anything. He had something good to say about every dungeon that he talked about, with the exception of a few. But you know, there was no game where he was like, "This game is bad." He even said he loves Wind Waker. He said I believe he said he liked Twilight Princess, and he said the dungeons weren't bad, but he said those were some of the weakest dungeons in the series. And he actually liked the Temple of Time, even though it's a straight line up and a straight line down. And he was like, a lot of people in the comments were thinking I was going to hate this dungeon, but I actually like it.
It kind of shows that most people had noticed a pattern of him.
But he broke it. And he likes Skyward Sword's dungeons.
A few of them.
But he liked the mix. Like he even said, you know, some of them he was like, not many of the other ones stand out, but you know, a good mix was okay. So overall, he liked the dungeons in the game. So I honestly, after watching, and I seriously watched all of these videos within the span of 2 days, and I don't see like the weird contention that I feel is a little made up. Because people basically assume you have to be in one park or the other. And he's definitely more on one side, but he's not one of those people who is like, it's not this, so it's bad. But people assume you have to be one or the other and basically take sides. Like you. I mean, you like the 3D Zelda design, and if somebody says they like the 2D one, you instantly assume they're on that side. I have yet to hear anybody.
I like Minish Cap.
Yeah, technically Minish Cap is a 2D game that's linear.
Okay, but you know, some people like 2D design like Ocarina. Or Majora's Mask. I think Majora's Mask was the more popular one for people who like Link to the Past. But no, I mean, it's basically one side or the other. There's no one who will sit there and tell you I like every Zelda game I played from A Link to the Past on. Except for me. Because... Well, unless you get into the DS ones, which I can't stand.
I like Minish Cap, and I hate A Link to the Past.
I love A Link to the Past. I think it's an amazing game.
It's not.
Well, see, right there. Here's my problem. You're sitting here bashing this guy because he doesn't like linear design as much, but you seriously will sit there and say you hate A Link to the Past, which is an even more radical comment than he makes.
Because it goes just like with the Link to the Past thing. It goes past the just being non-linear.
But he seems to enjoy some aspects of every Zelda game. I can honestly say that man probably loves more of the entire Zelda series than most people. He hasn't talked about Zelda 1 or Link. Well, he talked about Zelda 1, and he loves that game. He played in 2017. I don't know what he thinks about Zelda 2, but you know. Zelda 2 is a different beast.
Did he cover that in the...
No, because...
No, it started with A Link to the Past.
Zelda 2 is a different...
But he said he was going to get to them.
Does it even really technically have dungeons?
Yes!
Well, the palace.
But no, this man, I can honestly say this man likes every Zelda game. He has had good things to say about him. If he doesn't outright say he actually likes this game, because a lot of times he'll make sure to mention that he actually does like this game. So he will, so if you actually watch and pay attention, he will make sure to, when he gets on those games where he's like saying a lot of negative things, he'll like stop himself and be like, I actually really do like this game. Because, I will admit there are times when he like really gets on a tangent about something, but then he'll be like, but this does have this. And he'll point out, even if if it's small, good things, he'll mention that he actually likes the game, because I remember him mentioning he liked Twilight Princess. The only game I remember him saying he doesn't like that much is Skyward Sword, because he doesn't like Skyward Sword that much, and he pointed out, every reason no one likes Skyward Sword. But he likes its dungeons. And he never said, hey, these dungeons are all bad. Only these dungeons are good. He just talked about the ones he really liked. And he said the other ones were pretty linear and were more combat heavy and less difficult, but he was like a good mix, but he even mentioned that a good mix was okay for him. So no, I disagree with the statement that this man is like, nah, these are all too linear, they're all bad. That is definitely not what that man is saying.
A lot of people are starting to think that way.
Oh, that's because people can only think you can be one way or the other. That's basically the form of thinking that is devolved to. You can't think both ways.
Gotta pick a side.
So no, I disagree. I don't think this man prefers non-linear design, but he will find good in the other ones because he likes Majora's Mask, which he said was linear, but he liked the spatial redesign of the dungeon, which is just how he likes his dungeons. So no, I see his point,
That tangent went nowhere.
But no, I really like those videos actually.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, no, you don't, because he said something about non-linear design, and you have to jump on the linear design train.
It's not jumping on linear.
Well, yes, it is, because you can't, because he liked A Link to the Past, so you have to dislike his opinions.
I don't even remember any points from the A Link to the Past video.
He likes his dungeon design. He likes that there's like dungeons where you have to use higher floors to jump down to lower floors and stuff like that.
I hated that in A Link to the Past.
I like that.
I felt that was too unclear. I hated when Minish Cap did it too. I feel that's kind of a fourth wall breaking thing.
Sitting here rambling in the middle of an LP while my game is paused.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I don't have any more time, and this is where we have to stop halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay then.
But I wanted to finish that tangent.
Yeah.
Because it's just a thing. No, anybody who sits there and says, they really like A Link to the Past, that man really likes A Link to the Past. It's like if once somebody makes that statement, they basically ended up on a side whether they want to be there or not. Mm-hmm. And basically everyone will hate on all of their opinions because they like A Link to the Past and the way it designs its dungeons. And everyone will jump on the either Ocarina or A Link to the Past train, and there is nobody I've found who will jump in the middle.
It's like when you pick a waifu in Persona 4, you immediately lines are drawn in the sand.
Oh yeah, it's that. It's like 2D, 3D Sonic design. If somebody sits there and looks at you and says, I like 2D Sonic, you basically jumped on a side.
Yes, really, I just can, and yes, people, I just compared an elaborate and nuanced game design discussion to saying that Chie is best girl, because she is.
Because Chie is best girl.
High five.
We just agreed on something.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The fact that we ended a complex Zelda discussion on a man who is probably one of the most team analysts I've seen.
We can ramble more.
Ending on Chie is best girl.
We need to ramble more about Zelda discussions in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Next time I should be able to talk a little bit.
Well, Carson tried, but I also hadn't watched the Boss Keys videos. Yeah. So it didn't go anywhere. And now I've watched all of them.
I was focusing on terrible minigames, but
still kind of
we need
nowhere.
Need to end this part then. We can tangent more later, because this is a video. It's literally going to be like 5 minutes of tangenting. So
that's what happens.
Probably end this then. Hope you guys enjoyed this set of videos from Spyro the Dragon. got a good bit done. So, anyway, see you guys next time. Okay, guys. So my question of the day is, did any of you guys know that Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku cut off your hitbox in between attack frames as a way to justify Jinky hit detection? Not a lot of people know that, and like I said, I only learned that in a speedrun. Most people casually just seem to notice that they randomly take no damage and they can't really figure out why. It's because, as I said, every couple of hits, the game basically disables your hitbox, and that was left as a way to basically give you a buffer period to avoid damage, because they didn't want to code a proper dodge or block. But anyway, I would really love to know what you guys think. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be chill for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you're new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.